Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me for Freeform Fridays here on Conversations with Taz. My apologies for not being able to get you all even a pre recorded show last night. There was a lot of anxiety and things took a turn. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Like a whole karate flick. Um, is everybody able to hear me now? Because I've got some comments saying that they can't hear me. Okay, good. Um, so yeah, my apologies for not being able to get with you last night. But I'm here tonight, so let's get all the way into it. Let's start with some updates. Let's get all the business at hand out of the way before we get into the fun stuff. So, as always, I'm going to bring you all the latest and greatest. So, here's an
The
update.
father sponsored his son's firearm owner identification card 2.5 years ago, despite 2 instances of police being called to the home over threats of violent behavior. He was under 21 and the application was sponsored by the subject's father, Illinois State Police said. Therefore, at the time FOID application review in January of 2020, there was insufficient basis to establish a clear and present danger and deny the FOID application. However, the suspect's shooter's dad, Bob Cremo, 58, knew police had been called to their home twice earlier that same year because his son had threatened to kill himself and the rest of the family. So, despite having been notified by state authorities of a clear and present danger, he was able to legally buy 5 guns, including an AR-15 style type rifle. But remember, it's not the gun laws that are the problem. It's not how lax they are. It's definitely other things that cause these people to be able to get these guns legally.
And that's an update on the Highland Park shooting. And let's not forget, the father of the Highland Park shooter, I am not going to say his name. Y'all know how I do on this channel. I'm not giving any domestic terrorists their 15 minutes of fame. His father is a politician. Now, do you think if this young man looked like me and my brothers, or my sons, or my daughters were under the legal age to purchase a firearm, they would have approved that? Oh, y'all, buckle up, grab an adult beverage, because we got some doozies and some updates tonight. Remember Tamir Rice? Remember the officer who was responsible for his murder? Let's jump into this update.
So, family, this story comes from Pennsylvania. The police officer who fatally shot Tamir Rice in Ohio found a new job in Pennsylvania. It was a small town called Tioga. And this guy was sworn in as a law enforcement officer, and he had to resign because people were outraged, and rightfully outraged, and the town and the police department claimed that they had no idea about this guy's history. You are the police and you're telling me you can't do a background search? Come now. And so Lowman resigned. He was not fired. And the reason why he resigned is because of the backlash from the residents, the community at large, foundational Black Americans, and also the mayor. And I think that everybody who was involved in the hiring of this man should be fired. Period. Point blank. End of story.
Let's take this apart piece by piece. The fact that he resigned and he wasn't fired means that he could be rehired by another police department. There's a reason why he went to a very small town, and they claimed, and I'm sure more stories will come out where they go, well, we don't have the resources as the big cities. Everybody has Google. Everybody has Google. And the fact that there was backlash from the public, the city cannot claim that they didn't know. Your citizens knew. And this is what these police officers do. They'll get themselves caught up in a major scandal, go to a small town, reestablish their reputations, and then climb the ladder back up to a big city and become a problem all over again in a big city while they've already caused problems in those small cities. And if you think I'm joking, do a little research. Pull up any officer that's been in anything, say, I'll be generous. Let's say that we'll stay to the 2000. Just start from 2000. Look up where they've been. Look at where they've gone. Then just do a separate Google search on missing persons, domestic violence, sexual assault, domestic. Oh, but we're not going to just stop there. Let's roll the rest of this beautiful bean footage.
To me personally, I think when a poor black person grows up and becomes a billionaire, that's worth clapping for. Those are the people I inspire. I've seen it where in public circles they've had a black person come up and say, identify as a Jewish rabbi or something. They're trying to be so diverse, and the whole room go crazy. So that's why this diversity is a communist concept, and it's got to stop. I'm all for variety, different skin colors and everything. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not coming against anybody's favorite Mexican restaurant, but diversity is a Trojan horse for communism, and we got to ban transgenderism. Y'all saw a bad idea.
So he loves diversity as long as he feels that he's still superior to the person. He loves diversity when it helps him in a capitalistic way. He loves diversity when he can tokenize a black person. Because did y'all catch that? He's all for diversity, but then goes on to say why he hates diversity. I swear, white supremacists are their own worst enemies. They are their own worst enemies. Exactly. Like, and what's with a black person becoming a millionaire and then becoming a Jewish rabbi? What? Woo! His racism, his classism, his everything was showing. As my granny used to say, "Ooh, that slip wasn't tightened because it's showing." But y'all know, it can't be a show of mine if we don't have an Amber Heard update. Y'all gonna love this one right here.
Officially charged in Australia. The actress is facing 2 counts over illegally importing her and Johnny Depp's pups, 2 Yorkshire Terriers, into the country. She is also charged with producing a false document. In May, Heard and hubby Johnny Depp traveled to Queensland on a private jet for Depp to film his latest Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Their pups, Pistol and Boo, did not go through customs and did not undergo the country's required 10-day quarantine. Australia's agriculture minister said, quote, "We're not easygoing about biosecurity. We're deadly serious about it." ET spoke to Heard earlier this year about the doggy drama.
And how are the dogs? Are they good?
Yes, they're good, despite attempts by certain rogue, thug Australian government officials. They are all right.
Her illegal importation charges carry a max penalty of a whopping 10 years in prison and a $75,000 fine. The false doc charge can mean a year in prison. Heard was issued a summons to appear in court in Queensland on September 7th.
Now, for those of you all that have been all over social media going, why isn't Johnny Depp also charged? Johnny Depp was already on the set. She brought the dogs in on her own. She fabricated the paperwork. And through their recent defamation trial, when her trying to have so many gotcha moments with Johnny Depp, she didn't realize how much she was telling on herself regarding other court cases that had preceded this. So, yeah, she broke the law. So, her prison time is going to be her prison time. And you saw, even in an interview, this woman is so narcissistic that while once again breaking the law, she tries to shift the blame. And are you familiar with the trigger words that she used? Oh, she most definitely she going to jail, whether it's Australia or the UK or at this point in the United States. But one case that we have been following very, very closely here on this channel is the Brittany Griner trial, and there is an epic update. Let's roll it.
Sudden admission from WNBA star Brittany Griner, pleading guilty in a Russian courtroom.
I would like to plead guilty on the charges.
Griner walking into the second day of her trial handcuffed, carrying a photo of her wife Sherelle. It's been 140 days since she was detained, arrested at the airport for carrying vape cartridges containing hashish oil, now facing up to 10 years in prison.
But I had no intention on breaking any Russian laws. I was in a rush packing, and the cartridges accidentally ended up in my bag.
Like many athletes, Griner spends the offseason playing overseas, where she can earn more than her WNBA salary.
We're hoping for the softest sentencing possible.
The Biden administration insists Griner is being wrongfully detained.
From CNN.com, Brittany Griner pleads guilty to drug charges in Russian court. Two-time U.S. Olympic basketball gold medalist Brittany Griner has pleaded guilty to drug charges in a Russian court near Moscow, her lawyers confirmed to CNN on Thursday. Griner, whom the U.S. State Department has classified as wrongly detained, faces up to 10 years in prison under the charge. Supporters of the Phoenix Mercury player have called for her release over fears she is being used as a political pawn amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Griner's lawyers expect the court to take into account the 31-year-old athlete's guilty plea and hope for leniency, Alexander Boykov and Maria Blagovnia told journalists Thursday. Anyone a part of the African diaspora, the Black diaspora, the African American diaspora, however you want to classify it, we know why she pled guilty. When you are commissioned with melanin, and we discussed this the other day, how the stories were changing, how more charges were coming against her, all these different things, the conditions in which she was held under. What else are you going to do? Now, all of a sudden, they have audio to release to us. And in this audio, everyone is speaking unadulterated English, sans accent. We learned on Wednesday that she would spend 5 hours in a cage that was far too small to accommodate her, which means they don't even have a larger cage to accommodate men. So for those of you out there, like, there must be a bigger cage because there are men that are bigger than her. Are there, though? I mean, the United States has so romanticized the ideal of Russian individuals, what they do, how scary they are, all of these things. But is that really true? Oh, she's most definitely, James, a pawn in the war with Ukraine. Because like I pointed out Wednesday, it was stated in court documents that she didn't buy these cartridges in the United States and bring them over. She had been there for a while and bought the cartridges and was leaving Russia. And I equated it to the scam that the United States has going with fireworks, because the United States will allow you to buy fireworks in a state where it's illegal to ignite the fireworks. They're waiting for you to ignite them. And the fact that they're charging her with distribution as if she's Don Corleone. And each cartridge is less than a gram of hash. If you know, you know. Well, we got a few more updates to get through because, like I said, my apologies that I couldn't get with y'all yesterday. The petition for Clarence Thomas, it is linked into the link tree in my bio. One of the petitions, because there's several, has reached 1 million signatures, so he's getting scared right now. Derek Chauvin gets 21 years for violating George Floyd's rights in federal court. Yay, yay. Gang, gang. We love that. We love to hear that. What in the world? Sorry, all of a sudden. Okay. All right, all of a sudden. All of a sudden, my mouse doesn't want to work. Here we go. Here's some safety tips I want you all to pay close attention to.
Oh my gosh, this is not the guy from the profile picture. I have been catfished. Oh, do not touch me. Get your hands off me. And he's aggressive. Act normal. Don't panic. You can run out to the car. No, don't do that. He's so aggressive. He will follow me. I don't want him to see my car. What can I do? Okay, I can text Jenny. I'll tell her to come get me. I'm going to send her my location. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'm going to text her right now. Okay, Jenny. Oh my God. He just took my phone. This is not okay. Okay. Get your hand off my head. This is so gross. Angel shot. Excuse me.
Hi, can I get an angel shot, please?
Yeah, of course. An angel shot? Sir, we have this. Thank you very much. They're very, very good. Yeah, I got you. So an angel shot.
Neat, please.
Yeah, of course. An angel shot neat. Coming right up. Hey, Tom, can you come here real quick? We'll get Larry really quick. I'm going to make these angel shot neats, and maybe we can help you bring that keg over. Cool? Perfect. So where are you guys from? Okay, thank you, Larry. Larry right here. Miss, you're going to go with Larry. Sir, you're going to stay right here. She's going to walk to her car. Sir, okay, regular. So in this situation, you can tell this young lady felt very, very unsafe. She clearly was catfished, right? That was not the man she was supposed to be meeting. He was very aggressive, putting his hands on her. He even went to the extent of taking her phone. Like, are you kidding me? So she was feeling very, very unsafe, so she ordered an angel shot knee. So if you're ever at a bar feeling unsafe, you order an angel shot knee. That means you need someone to walk you to your car. Like security or the bartender will help safely walk you to your car. Let's say you're at the bar and you're fearing for your life and you're feeling so unsafe that you need the police, you'd order an angel shot with lime. So an angel shot with lime means you need the police. You also can order an angel shot on the rocks, which means you didn't drive to this bar, but you still need to get out of this uncomfortable situation. So the bar is going to help you call a taxi, Uber, or Lyft to help make sure you get home safe.
If you didn't catch that, you can always rewind during this broadcast or after the broadcast is over, screenshot it, share it with as many people as you can. Please, please, please get the word out. So if you're feeling unsafe in this, I know in this scenario, it was a woman that felt that way, but men are put into these situations also. So are non-binary individuals. Please share those with everyone that you know. If you sense that someone that you know may be a predator, please do not share it with them. Let's keep everybody safe. And if you are not aware, if yes, it is very, very good information to know. And also, let me add this caveat because I bounce around everywhere. If you ever see this, hold on. I know I always have on a different pair of glasses, and my hair is always different. But if you ever see this face, now I did take my lip ring out. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you don't know that, like I said, I had a wild night. See this? I bruised my bottom lip, so I take the lip ring. But if you ever see me, grab my shoulder and just pinch it twice. I will follow you to the bathroom. Tell me what you need. Or use the universal sign of distress. And pay attention should you ever see anybody use it. Also pay attention to the body language of people around you. But the GOP and their excuses, they are really amping it up. So let's tackle our last serious subject. Well, we have one more uber serious subject, but I'm going to save that for the end. I ain't being bad, D-Mac. You know what? Anyhow, let's get to the GOP. Then let's have some fun, and then we'll get serious at the end.
This is Billy Long, and he's a representative for the 7th District in Missouri. And Billy blames mass shootings on abortion.
To my knowledge, none of those shootings were done with any kind of Armalite rifle or AK or anything like that. So it's a systemic problem. When I was growing up in Springfield, you had 1 or 2 murders a year. Now we have 2, 3, 4 a week in Springfield, Missouri. So something has happened to our society, and I go back to abortion. When we decided it was okay to murder kids in their mother's wombs, life has no value to a lot of these folks.
Just off the top of my head, they've blamed teachers not being armed, too many doors, too many windows, abortion, video games, mental health, weed, porn. What else? It's gaslighting and deflection, and that's what they are so good at. And I know there's more that you can add to the list as to the excuses that the right have given as to why.
There will always be excuses for white boys and white girls because I've said it before and let me say it again. Black, brown, indigenous, and people of color are never allowed to have a childhood. But white people are allowed the privilege of never growing up. There will always be an excuse for their behavior. There will always be an excuse for them committing genocide, for them committing mass murder, for them breaking the law. Because they will hit us with every whataboutism, and the first whataboutism they start with is, what about black on black crime? You mean proximity crime? Let's talk about the statistics regarding white proximity crime. Because white people kill everyone. In the name of white supremacy, they will even kill their own. White supremacy, as much as it is detrimental to those of us that are non-white, it is far more detrimental to white people because they take away their own benefits. They shame their own people out of benefiting from systems that they put in place to benefit their own people. Because they've convinced these people that they don't need to be adjacent to non-white people without secretly going in and whispering to them like, oh, we're just lying. They don't really get this benefit. It's really for us. Okay, once again, can you all hear me? Because once again, somebody's claiming that there's no volume. Can you all hear me? Oh, it's more than the NRA that's footing the bill. But let me know, can you all hear me before I move on to the next video? Okay. Okay. Let's get into the rest of the shenanigans.
Check out this letter this lady received from one of her racist neighbors. This is in America. I don't know what city, but check this out. It says, "Dear neighbor, I was recently informed that you are not Mexican but Indian. I am not racist and wish for all kinds to love and be loved. But I would like to inform you that we, citizens of blank, pay taxes to live on this land and you do not. There are Indian reservations held for your people where you are welcome and appreciated. This is not your place. You are not welcome in this neighborhood. I kindly suggest, with the best of intentions, that you consider moving back to a place where you really belong. Also, I overheard a conversation with my son and his friend and said that he thinks your daughter is cute. I highly suggest that you tell your daughter not to dress inappropriately as it is confusing my son and possibly his friends. I do not think it is cute at all. It is sin for your daughter to dress this way. Please tell your daughter if she expresses any interest in my son or any other young man in this neighborhood that interracial dating or marriage is sin and punished by God and highly discouraged. I have told the same to my child. She would be better off finding a young man in a reservation who is also Indian. She will be way happier. I believe you would be better, you and your family, going back to a reservation with your people. For the well-being of you and your family. Sincerely, a neighbor." People who think like this are a plague to society. And I will just leave it at that. This was
Isn't it amazing that when you're non-white and a white son or daughter of a racist is attracted to you, it's because of how you dress? All of a sudden, that's inappropriate. And see how someone who is on the same income level as you moved in to a neighborhood that you reside, and you assume that they don't pay tax. You know what? The dog whistles that white people have been convinced are true, that make 0 sense, let me know that all of their claims of superiority, whoo doggy. So every time they try to deny that they are genetic mutations, shit like this pops up and reminds us, yes, they are genetic mutations. And they are so intellectually flawed. Jesus. Okay, let's go to the next one. Even the wildlife don't like you. Hang it up. Hang it up. The wildlife don't like you. The wildlife is like, fuck your shit. Like, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. The wildlife don't like you. I cannot. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I just sent it, D-Man. Give me a sec. I was laughing. I was laughing. Them birds was like, call the po-po ho. I don't give a fuck about the po-po ho. Okay. Hold on, we got
Seriously, like, have you seen my silhouette? Sheesh.
that is oh, okay. Okay. Let's just go to the next one.
What lengths have you gone to sleep with someone? Reposted his SoundCloud tracks with the fire emojis. Convinced the girl I was balling because I saved up, and then she caught me on the bus.
Imagine.
Decorated my friend's house like a restaurant, made menus and signs. I got my pal to dress up as a waiter. I promise you now, James. Listen to me. I promise you now. How much money have you wasted on this? Where do your priorities lie? I said I'm coming over to just have some food, and this is what you're doing. Family, jail time. Stalked her for ages. She was so shocked we had so much in common.
Oh my God.
Drove 30 minutes only to give a. Then after he told me he wanted to be friends.
People are really going through all of that just to get some sexy time? Y'all about to be sick of me. Because after watching this, I'm conceited as hell. Because all I got to do is show up and be like, you want to touch my titty? That's it. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Can you sound like these male R&B singers?
I'm sorry, John. 'Cause all me loves all. Hold up. On these days it feel like you and me. Heartbreak anniversary.
I'm the king of R&B. Yeah. Woo, yeah. Hey, baby, grind on me. Relax your mind. I wanna be where you are. Ain't nothing wrong with dancing. Baby, it's so romantic. Baby, if your chick come close to me, she ain't going home when she supposed to be. I'm getting money. I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you try to lay me down, look what you done started. Oh, nah. What?
I feel attacked. I feel attacked.
Why you feel it? You don't.
I feel attacked.
We going on to the next one. There is no reason for you to feel. The one song ain't got nothing to do with you. Let's go to the next one.
Make up your mind. I'm not gonna be here for long.
10-foot pole. You on your own. Nope. I am not touching that one. You on your own. No, ma'am.
That blind react.
Nope.
I'm gonna start writing down who sends me the blind reacts because y'all going to hell. Y'all ain't got no JC points left. Here we go.
Lawrence H. Plath Sr. was born in Belmont, New York on April 16, 1941. He passed away on June 27, 2022, living a long life, much longer than he deserved. He is survived by his 3 children. No, 4. Oops, 5 children. Well, as of 2022, we believe there is one more that we know about, but there could be more. His love was abundant when it came to himself, but for his children, it was limited. From a young age, he was a ladies' man and an abusive alcoholic, solidifying his commitment to both with the path of destruction he left behind, damaging his adult children and leaving them broken. Lawrence Sr.'s hobbies included abusing his first wife and children. He loved to start projects but never followed through on any of them. He enjoyed the life of a bar fly for many years and had a quaint little living space studio above his favorite hole in the wall, the Club Nashville. Lawrence Sr. did spend over 20 years in the NYPD, but even his time in service was negligent at best. Because of his alcoholic addiction, his commanding officer took away his gun and badge, replacing them with a broom until he could get his act together. Lawrence did claim to be clean and sober for 30 years, but never worked any of the 12 steps, including the 8th and 9th with his children, making amends. He possesses no redeeming qualities for his children, including the ones he knew and the ones he knew about. It will be challenging to miss Lawrence Sr. because he was narcissistic. He was incapable of love. Lawrence's passing proves that evil does eventually die, and it marks the time of healing, which will allow his children to get the closure they deserve. Lawrence Sr. can be remembered for being a father to many and a dad to none. Rest in peace.
And before y'all ask, no, I did not write this obituary. I do not know who that man is. Because I know y'all petty asses is going to be like, Taz wrote that obituary. It is something that I would have been more colorful in my colloquialism. But let's go to,
Wow, that was an incredibly satisfying 2 minutes.
That was awesome.
I was gonna go for a coffee run. Do you want to come with me? I can't. I promised my great Aunt Mary that I'd help her bake cookies for tonight. Okay, that is a crazy coincidence. My grandma is named Mary and she makes the best cookies ever. Yeah, we're making like 3 dozen for the family barbecue. That's so weird. I'm also going to a family reunion tonight. Where? Oh, it's just this house right up the road. Red brick, white door. What type of cookies does your grandma make? Peanut butter? Fuck! Oh my god! Well, looks like we have our own little family barbecue. Yeah, well, there was definitely not enough meat for a barbecue.
y'all just be out here bang-a-langing without asking questions. LGBTQIA plus community. Let's just go to the
Hey, Dominique. Hey, Dominique. Kevin, I'm working. I talk to you in 10 minutes, okay? Jesus. Hey, Dominique, you heard about the retrograde? So with the retrograde, I'm finna bite your move. Dominique, the retrograde. I got a nose full of dirt. You think I care about the retrograde? Yeah. Well, I don't. Dominique, you ever heard about Pangea? You want to know what happened in Pangea? No to everything. Dominique, Kevin, with the retrograde, calm down. Leave me the hell alone. Dominique, why do they call it Groundhog Day if y'all not a pig? Y'all not a hog. Dominique, why do they call it Ground? Leave me alone. Hey, Dominique. No. Dominique.
Okay. Now, I don't know what it entails. Only thing I know is that it's a blind react, but it's a serious blind react, which I don't know what that means. And then after this, we are going to address the elephant in the room, and that is folks disrespecting Leslie Jones. But let's go through this video first.
Yesterday, a Colorado woman admitted to selling body parts and whole bodies for loads of cash. Megan Hess owned and operated the Sunset Mesa Funeral Home. Since 2009, she's also been running her business Donor Services from the same building. For 8 years, Megan and her mother Shirley sold the body parts of hundreds of victims. Specifically, court documents show that there were files of 811 people's bodies or body parts being sold. They would target low-income families wanting their loved ones cremated and then offer them a reduced price. But those families would often not receive their loved ones' ashes. It would be mixtures of sand, cement, or the ashes of a stranger. They would also send off parts or bodies that had tested positive or died of diseases such as HIV and hepatitis B, and they would certify that they were actually free of any infections. And they made over $1 million by doing this. A former employee accused Megan of extracting a victim's gold teeth and then selling them for $40,000. Prosecutors are recommending a sentence of 12 to 15 years for Megan, and her mother is scheduled to change her plea on July 12th.
See, this is why I'm going to say this, and please don't come for my neck. This is why I say, people, and I've been getting on my mama too. 1, make sure you have insurance. No matter what happens, get your insurance. So that way you can make sure you can take care of your loved ones and you ain't got to be sitting here shucking and jiving.
Yes, please stop going to these discount bargain basement.
Because that's ridiculous. People.
Educate yourselves on what things look like. Because the fact
Yes.
that people were buying the fact that sand and concrete chunks were the,
Mm-mm.
you know what?
Also, before we move on, make sure you have a will written down and it's notarized. Don't leave your family to the suffering of probate court. It ain't cute and it
Also,
ain't decent.
well, here's the thing. If you want to ensure that your family does not have to go through probate court and people don't sit there and lie and go, well, mama, have a last will and testament on top of a living will and a power of attorney. Now, and then you go, well, Taz, power of attorney dissolved when they die. But while you're alive in the hospital, guess what your power of attorney can do? Present those documents to hospital officials that have your wishes in there. Once the hospital is made aware, guess what a hospital ain't gonna do? They ain't gonna let nobody disparage their reputation. So guess what you now have in your favor?
So I just, oh God.
Go ahead and say what you have to say. I'm not going to start it yet. I'm going to start it in a minute because I want people to see the whole 4 minutes and 13 seconds because I know everybody has seen clips of this, clips of that, and everybody's like, well, it's taken out of context. I'm about to give you the whole context, but say what you have to say before we go to this.
I just want to say this before this clip plays. I really need y'all to understand that the chicoonery that this video is about to show you, this ain't black people. This is people who want to be white and don't know how to act. This is people who have cried wolf so many times, and now that the wolf is actually going to show up, we have closed and locked that gate. We do not under any. We will chastise them, but I ain't coming to save them. No, ma'am. Like Pontius Pilate, I'm washing my hands. I'm gonna chastise you up the yin yang. I'm gonna call you to the carpet, but I ain't coming to save you if something happened. Nope. I ain't got no claim if something happened to you, which I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm not wishing anything on these two people, but I'm not coming to save you. Because I can guarantee you, Black Twitter is dragging the mess out of them.
Not like what I'm about to do. Now, but at certain points, I'm going to stop and I'm going to give you all my commentary. Please understand, this is my commentary, nobody else's.
I gave mine on TikTok, so
let's run this fuckery.
Jason, where else, if not America, can you resemble Great Ape and have the success that Leslie Jones has had?
Before we move on, let's not take away from the fact that Leslie Jones is one of the longest standing to date writers on Saturday Night Live. Leslie Jones has put together skits on her social media pages that have gotten her contracts with major networks to do commentary for the Olympics, for elections, for everything else. This woman is a force to be reckoned with. And she looks nothing like Grape Ape. And if you're Gen X or an elder millennial, as you all like to point out to us, and you elder millennials only knew about certain shit because you had a Gen X parent who was watching it, you decided to sit there and watch it with them. But you don't really understand the history behind shit. But we're going to come to that later. Let's keep moving.
Leslie Jones, the former Saturday Night Live comedian,
She had a special 4th of July message for all of America. Let's take a look.
What's up, y'all? I was gonna write a post out, but I just feel like I need to say this. You know, I would say Happy 4th of July, but it's not really a Happy 4th of July, is it? Because 4th of July is supposed to stand for independence and, you know, how our country fought for freedom, all this stuff. But this ain't the land of the free. Y'all have taken away women's rights. You're trying to take away voters' rights. You're not representing anything that this holiday is supposed to be about. You know, I listen to the Star Spangled Banner and all of that, and I go, this is not the land of the free. This is not nothing that we're saying that it is. Nothing. So it's hard for me to say Happy 4th of July because it feels we going back to slavery, you know. So maybe I should say Happy Back to Slavery Day, because if we don't do something, there will be no Independence Day for anyone. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to pause right here. Are there some missteps that Leslie took in what she said? Yes. Am I also watching a Black woman finally wake up to what the United States is? Yes. Am I going to expect every Black person, especially every Black woman, to be on the same level historically that I am on? No. Everybody does not deep dive into history the way that I do, and I understand that. So if they wanted to take an issue with what she said, they could have said, Leslie, why did it take you so long to figure this out? But they still haven't figured it out. And the fact that what's going on right now is not a Black woman or a woman of color or an indigenous woman's problem, it is a white woman's problem. And we're not going back to slavery. We're going back to the 50s, where you would have to register yourself to vote as a woman as Mrs. blah, blah, blah. And if you were not an MRS, you weren't able to register, shop at a store, have a residence. And you want to know why people push home ownership so much? Because women couldn't have it. And there was a point in time where apartments were few and far in between. So as a woman, you had to marry a man and go get a house. That's why they push it towards you. So if they wanted to, there are things you could have had issue with in what Leslie Jones said. Do I understand her sentiment? 1000%. Was it slightly misguided? Yes. Was I going to nitpick it? No. But let's keep going.
Yeah, before you do that, sorry, this is not a weapon, y'all. This is my holder for my phone. So it's not a weapon. Okay. I just want to put that out there. Just in case somebody said I was threatening. But I don't remember her being fired or let go from Saturday Night Live. Do you?
As far as I know, she's still a writer.
And she still comes on there from time to time, right?
When she feels like it.
So I don't understand. Former?
And my thing is, I don't know anyone else who has ever had that liberty.
I think
member or you were a writer. You didn't get to call the shots as to when you, because Pete Davidson has left because his new life does not conform to the SNL schedule.
Of course not. But that's neither here. That's a whole nother video.
But I'm saying a white man does not have the ability to do what Leslie Jones is doing in a white, cisgendered, heterosexual career.
I'm like, sir, if you're gonna say something, make sure it's valid. But then again, this is Jason Whitlock. You don't know, and you wouldn't know a fact if it hit you in the face.
Well,
but
continue. He's a conservative Republican, so
you mean a conservative idiot?
I saw a conservative Republican today say that Benjamin Franklin fought for the United States to be a Christian nation and then hated it when he became president and had to deal with Muslims.
Okay, first of all, Benjamin Franklin was never president. Oh my God, are these idiots really out here saying that?
But when has the United States had to deal with Muslims? Muslims keep to themselves.
And they weren't even in this country until like what?
Muslims don't bother anybody. So what do you mean you had to? Let's just let's go, because we still got 2 minutes and 44 seconds left of this video, and there are a couple other times I need to pause this to break some stuff down for people. So let's go.
Make it make sense, and if you can, because it's a struggle for me. I'm gonna do everything in my power not to talk about Leslie Jones's looks.
And he's sitting there acting like he's America's Next Top Model. He's sitting there looking like something that will come up out of my body after a horrific menstrual cycle. And the ladies watching, well, I'm sorry. Let me retract that statement. Anybody with a uterus that is still menstruating, y'all know about the jellyfish connection. You know what I mean? When the jellyfish connect with the back end and you do a sneeze and stuff start coming out that you wasn't expecting, that's what he look at. Like, don't ask no questions. Folks know what I'm talking about. Just let it ride.
In this, but you do whatever makes you feel good.
Still laughing.
Make sense for me.
Jason, where else, if not America, can you resemble Great Ape and have the success that Leslie Jones has had?
First of all, ma'am.
Hold on. Given that white people and men have told darker skinned black women that the only way we could be successful is to be sexualized or if we're thrown a bone. Because look what they did to our first Oscar winner. They made her play a mammy. Then at that Oscar ceremony, they made her walk through the back door. They gave her a pre-written speech to try to downplay their racism. And this dark-skinned black woman who wrote a book, and while promoting her book, because when this video was done, I'm going to show y'all some receipts. She was wearing natural hair, damn near naked, and she has a red hat that looks like a MAGA hat that says "Make America Naked Again." Bitch, if you don't have several motherfucking seats. Leslie Jones is not a white woman who has the privilege to be mediocre and become famous. Black people, especially dark-skinned black people, and especially dark-skinned black women, no, we have to work our ass off just to get the minimum. While white people are complaining about the minimum wage, do you know how stacked my resume has been since my first outside of my family job, when I could put together a resume? Fuck putting together a job application. At 17 years old, I could put together a complete resume. And that shit was so stacked that motherfuckers still wanted to pay me below minimum wage because they figured I didn't know what minimum wage was. But you got little white girls, little white boys, little white people just out here going, making millions of dollars. That is not us. You cockroach raid resistant bitch.
So, ma'am, I addressed you in my video, but I'm gonna really address you now. So the very fact that you thought that clowning Leslie Jones was gonna make you the next Candace Owens, baby, let it go. Cause soon they're gonna use her up and spit her back out into the ether, and she ain't gonna have nothing else too. I don't understand what it is that y'all don't get, that black people have to work so hard just to even get anything. As Taz just said, we have to go. That black tax is still in effect. We still have to work 10 times harder than the next white mofo out here in these streets. What is it that you don't get? You thought that by saying some buzzwords and some trigger words that you was gonna spark some clout and then be like, "Oh, see, look at me." I'm telling you right now, they is rallying around Leslie Jones, not you. They
But
don't
not only
care
that,
anything about you.
as a black woman, you still have the black tax. You still have blockbustering. You still have redlining. You still have discrimination. But as a woman, you also have the fucking pink tax.
I don't get you. I don't get her. I don't
But let's
understand
let's
what
keep
it
it moving.
was.
She gets worse. And I know people spliced and diced. We're not gonna splice and dice. I took this straight from the source and we're gonna go through it all. So don't come to me saying, Taz, you took it out of context. No. And if you put in Jason Whitlock, Leslie Jones, it will take you to the same Twitter feed if it's still up. I grabbed the screenshot. Here it is. Let's run.
Look, and we're not picking on black women. As
Yes,
a
you are.
dark-skinned black woman, I understand
No, you
colorism
don't.
more than anybody else. But we're going to stop lying.
Real quick, I'm gonna start this back up. But she goes, "Oh, I understand this more." I want y'all to peep her background. Her background is the cover for her book. Notice the images she chose for her book.
I can't
Now,
really see.
that's why I said when I'm done running this video, I'm gonna bring y'all some pictures. But I want you to have this in the back of your mind as we go forward, because behind her, this black woman has a protective style in her head. The picture of herself behind there is her natural hair out. While she talking about Leslie Jones, who Leslie Jones prolifically through her entire career has tried to stay as natural as possible. Here we go.
And we're going to stop lying today. Leslie Jones is not where she is because she is the funniest woman in America. She's not. She's not where she is because she's the cutest woman in America. She's not.
Why do we have
She's
to be
where
cute
she
to be
is because of
successful?
the opportunities that we have
What
in
opportunities?
America. She is where she is because this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. She was brave enough to say, I'm not the funniest, but I have a dream.
When did Leslie Jones say she wasn't the funniest? When can a black woman lack talent and become famous? And Leslie Jones is not living in the lap of luxury. She is not Jeff Bezos. She is not Steve Jobs. She ain't Bill Gates. She ain't even Tyler Perry.
I'm just
When
like,
did Leslie Jones ever say, "Baby, I ain't funny"? And we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop with these coontastic ass talking points that are just hiding, or I'm sorry, masking internalized racism, as if black people are given the same opportunities as white people. We have zero privilege. And I don't give a damn where you come into the diaspora. I don't give a damn what country you hail from or where you live right now. My black folks, we know we are not afforded any privilege, even in the countries and continents that are soaking in our blood, sweat, and tears, where we are indigenous to those lands. We still are stripped of our privilege. But let's keep going.
Was brave enough to say, I'm not the most attractive, but I have a dream. She left.
Bitch, I know your crypt keeper ass ain't sitting here talking about somebody ain't the most attractive. You know what? Why don't y'all tag this heifer? That's what y'all do. Share this and tag this heifer and tell her to come talk to me. But let's keep it moving.
School and went after what she wanted because this is America and you actually have the ability to do that here, nowhere else. And I am just sick.
Girl, Kevin Samuels is dead and he didn't even have the money to pay you for all the suck jobs you gave on him. And I know this shrimp dick motherfucker ain't paying you to go get some tweezers and go. But let's keep going.
Of people like Leslie Jones pushing this oppressive mind state that, oh, we don't have these rights. First of all, when she talks about voters' rights, Every Black person that I know has a state issued ID.
Girl, two Black people, dead ass Kevin Samuels, and this whitewashed, internalized racist motherfucker. There are plenty of Black people who do not, and there are plenty of white people who do not have the money, the means, or the way to get IDs. There are also immigrants that if they lose or anything is damaged on their original paperwork, it could take months up to years for them to get replacements. So stop with this. The people I know, when you only know three motherfuckers.
ID of some sort. When she talks about women's rights, women still have the right to close their legs and be the peach that's out of reach.
Oh, the peach that's out of reach. So when your legs are forced open, that peach becomes well within reach. When you're a child and you think because every child believes what's going on in their home is normal and that everybody is doing it until they get the opportunity to branch out and be around other people. And for those children that are never able to branch out, when are they supposed to know that that's wrong? So stop with this modesty. We need to put everything on the woman, especially the Black woman, because I hate the fact that in certain churches, women are taught to not be a stumbling block for men. The fuck? You supposed to be a grown ass man. Because in the same breath, you telling me to follow da 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 da's advice because they've been there, seen that, got a t-shirt and got commemoratives. Well, if they are that mature to be able to endure all of that, how could me putting a t-shirt on today instead of a sweater persuade them to choke me up and assault me? But let's keep going.
They still have the right to actually use contraception. So stop.
Barely. Does this bitch not know how to read? Now I
No.
know I'm good and deaf in one ear. We all know that because when I had an ear infection, I had to explain to y'all I was gonna be delayed because I had to put, certain stuff up for me to be able to see it. And I've tried to work. I don't know if YouTube has heeded my cry to put subtitles because I can't see them from my end. But the fuck, bitch, they coming at the contraceptives too. But I bet you'll be screaming a whole different thing when I know you sucking Black man dick that think that they white, but I'm pretty sure you letting all the white men nut up in you because plan B. When that plan B don't work and he tell you he ain't leaving his wife, then what? But let's keep it going.
The lies, Leslie, because there are people, children looking up to you that aren't the cutest, aren't the brightest, aren't the funniest, that want to do what you.
Bitch, you just proved you're not the cutest, you're not the funniest, you're not the brightest, and you're not looking up to her. So you are not the demographic that she's going for. The rest of us that are gorgeous, intelligent, and funny, enlightened, and we actually have friends, she ain't lying to us because we know the truth. But let's keep going.
You're doing, but you're telling them that they can't do it in the land that you actually did it in. Stop the lies because this is foolishness and I don't appreciate it and I'm tired of it, Jason. So for me, stop talking about this is back to slavery day because if we went back to slavery, just like myself, Leslie, you would be in the field. And as a 6-foot woman that's actually built like a man, you would probably be working alongside the oxen.
Don't say anything. I want to clarify something.
No, because I know this big old pony built bitch ain't sitting here talking about where somebody would be working. Baby, first of all, they would have you working sun up to sun down and then have you bent over the back of a horse while they fuck the shit out of you because they realize that you are the Sambo. You are the one that will be forever left behind because you would forever want to please massa. So you would be their breeding horse. You would be their breeding pony. You would be the one that they could sell babies off of, because you would sit there and let them ski, 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 ski from the window to the wall.
So he doesn't speak again, right? That was it.
That was the whole video that was put up.
So Miss Shamika Michelle, because that's her name. I'm putting it all out there. Her whole government name. I don't even care. Miss Shamika Michelle, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You would have been the exact person that Miss Harriet Tubman just shot right in the face, right in the face, and would not have cared. Right in the face, darling, because you are literally telling black women that any other message than what you're saying is incorrect. So women are not supposed to have critical thinking skills of their own. They're not supposed to do anything outside of listen to you. Because the last time I checked, with these pictures that you got on your that we're looking at right now, honey, I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you, which would be across the Gale Bowl, which is across the street from my house.
But this is what she was standing in front of. That's why I said I would bring you all the receipts.
Girl, you look like a dried up piece of toast.
At the
Who
bottom,
you trying to kid?
she's naked. You see how she's all natural, trying to.
But then you got your hair slicked back like you ain't got no girl. You look like the thing I would pass out after. Ugh, I don't understand. The self-hatred these people have for themselves is utterly shameful. And I'm just like, why would you put yourself through something? If you grifting for a bag, fine, say that. If you grifting for a bag, say it. If you grifting, hey, I would have more respect for you if you said that you were grifting for a bag. I would have more respect.
This is how we see y'all. Coontastic coalition members, coontastic committee members, coontastic chair people.
I'm just like,
This
but
is
don't sit here and say that you're trying to help black people and you're not. You're only making things worse. And trust and believe, just like they did with what was it? What's the girl from Clueless? What were they at? What's her face?
Stacey Dash.
Just like they did with Stacey Dash when they kicked her out of Fox News. Just like they did with Candace Owens and her crazy behind.
That she got a black family, and she has a black famous family that's also in the industry, and people are like, bitch, how you claiming that you ain't black and your whole family got the same last name? Like, we wondering if it's a family tree or a family wreath. Like, what the hell? But
so black people, we need to do we hold these crazies accountable. Do not let your foot off of their neck. Do not invite them back to the cookout either, though.
First of all, stop inviting people to the cookout, period. Because y'all inviting people to the places that you ain't supplying shit to.
Oh yeah,
y'all inviting people to the cookout that's at my house. You bet not, because you and them gonna get your feelings hurt. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Stop inviting people to the cookout and stop being okay and so impressed with people doing the bare minimum. But then in the same breath telling men and women of the melanated persuasion to pick better. How the fuck they gonna pick better when you can't even pick a good ally?
Girl, I'm telling you, the shenanigans is played.
I got a 50-cent CD. Oh, you invited to the cookout, sis. Oh, you did that, sis. What the fuck?
I'm like,
but then you want to be butthurt when you found out that sis is really racist. No shit, Sherlock. You think the enemy hasn't studied us to infiltrate us? Why do you think we keep trying to tell you to study them to Anywho, if you want to be, we got we got 3 episodes left. Okay. The last 3 episodes of what we're going to be covering for Are You Afraid of the Dark? If you want to be invited, you can hit me up or DMAC, and it's 5x5 on Instagram. We can send you the link. Also, if you're a regular in the comment section, you see my babies down here. You can also hit them up. They can send you the link. Other than that, you just gonna have to deal with how we have to retail at this point, and that's your fault because y'all let us get recorded.
Also, I'm gonna push it back because I have something to do and I won't be back here until 8. So we'll be starting at 8. So sorry for 7:30 people. I'm sorry.
Actually, that's perfect because I was about to say that you all were gonna have to start without me.
Yes, I'll be out and I won't get back here until 8 o'clock. So yeah.
Well, we know the promise that I made, and I missed tonight. I'm not going over that here.
Yeah, no worries.
But
no worries. You made a promise. You should keep it.
It is an earlier time tomorrow, but I was afraid I was going to be like 10-15 minutes late, but 8 o'clock is perfect. So like I said, if you want to join us, let us know. I can no longer put that link public because of things that were happening.
Yep.
I'm not being funny. You
Yeah.
can, like I said, if you talk to the regulars in the comment section, they can tell you what was going on.
Yeah, no, we know what was going on. It's just people were being petty.
Because folks had me to the point where I was questioning if I was paying bills on time, and then you know it, and I was looking and I was sending you screenshots like, did I misread this? Did I get the date wrong? And you're like, no, it was paid. I'm like, okay, so what's the issue? But as always, each one teach one, each one. Dear let's try that again. Each one teach one, each one reach one.
Aye.